Hey guys, we're starting a new series today, trainer tips. Today we're going over isometric exercise. You saw me in a split squat there, but essentially an isometric exercise is where the muscle is contracting, but it's not changing length. So we are neither in a eccentric phase or a concentric phase. It's not lengthening or shortening, but it's contracted and we're holding that position. So an isometric could be anywhere from probably 2 seconds to as long as 60 seconds, maybe in a core exercise. It can be done with weight, without weight, pushing into a wall, pushing into a person, a number of different ways we can go about that. So we're gonna dive in deep today on what an isometric exercise is. So let's start with why we use an isometric exercise. So the reasoning behind why we'd use it can be a number of different factors. The first thing I like to do is, or the first reason why I like it, is because it's very easy to do. I can do any exercise, any movement. I could do as simple as putting my arm out and having my other hand push against it, whatever direction I need that force to be applied. So it's really easy to use. It's also really low risk. So if I've got a client maybe coming in post-injury or maybe hasn't trained in a long time, I'll often use isometric exercise to start off, get those muscles firing without putting them under a demanding movement or a significant amount of load or a big range of motion. So it's a great starting point if you're new or recovering from injury. Now, studies have also shown that it increases your connective tissue strength quite significantly, more than general exercise. So if we were to look at let's say a bicep curl, if I just rep out 20 reps, versus holding a isometric, studies have shown greater tendon and ligament strength from the isometric. So again, great in the rehab or maybe in the prehab side. If we're starting a program, that would be a good place to start. So those are some reasons why I like to use isometric exercise. Lastly here, I'm going to show you a few different exercises, a couple different tips that I like to use in isometric exercise. So again, one of the great things about isometric is we can use no equipment if we need it. We could use a wall, we could use our body, again, we could use another human in the context of maybe a physio setting or chiropractic where they're applying force to you and you're resisting. I'm gonna show you a quick one for some rotator cuff muscles against the wall. So in the golf game, in the baseball world, we need some strength through those rotator cuffs. So this is gonna be a really simple one. I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna get that arm to about 90 degrees. Elbow is almost at shoulder height and hand is vertical. All I'm going to do is apply force into the wall through my hand. So again, I'm not changing the muscle length, but we're certainly producing a really good contraction through some of those rotator cuff muscles that are producing external rotation. So what I'm trying to do there is get external rotation. I'm pushing that hand back, but the wall is resisting me, and I'm getting a great contraction to the rotator cuff. Now, we could do that in different positions. Again, a great reason why isometrics are so valuable is we can train in different positions. So let's say I've got an athlete who's really struggling getting to that position. We could go halfway down and apply force. And each week, we could change that position of that arm while still applying the same amount of force or increasing the amount of force. So that's one great way to use isometrics. I'll show you a couple others. So another great tool when using isometrics is using an added variable to change the influence of the exercise. So a split squat may be predominantly quad dominant, but if I want to change where that athlete is feeling that load, I can add a variable that's going to make them produce that force. So we're going to get down in a split squat. I've got a med ball between the outer part of my quad and the wall. So I'm going to be in that bottom of the split squat, but what I'm going to try to be doing is producing a force out into that ball. So instead of my standard split squat, where I might be feeling it here, all of a sudden I'm producing that force and now I'm feeling in that lateral glute. So a great way to teach an athlete how to feel different movements in their body or produce certain outcomes if you need. So final tip that I'm going to give you guys today on isometrics working on sticking points. So maybe not right away in a program, maybe we've worked for a little while, we've noticed we're weak in a certain position. Let's train that position that we're weak in. So we're going to use the bench press as an example. I'm going to use the bottom of the safety as my weak point, so I'm going to be pushing into that, and I'll show you one rep here. So I've got into that position, I'm at the bottom of the safeties, and now I'm going to apply the force. So I'm pushing up into those safeties, chest is contracting, muscles not lengthening or shortening, and I would reset. Okay, so using a specific position in the movement to apply that force is going to be great to build that overall exercise strength. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, to recap, an isometric exercise is where we're getting contraction of the muscle, but it is neither lengthening or shortening. So we've got a good contraction, but we're holding a certain position. So it's super easy to use. There's endless possibilities. We could do any exercise, any range of motion, any direction of force. Great with connective tissue health. So if we're recovering from an injury, if we're starting back in the gym, starting a new phase, it's a great time to use it. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of long form explanation of a certain sector of strength and conditioning. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these. We're going to work on eccentric exercise next time, but I'm hoping to do this as often as I can. So if you have something that you want to learn more about, please let me know and I'll try to make a video on that. Again, thanks for watching.